I wanted to take a minute and just show you what the Biblingo reading module has to offer. So you can see here that when you open the reading module over here on the left-hand side, first of all, you have this pick up spot where you last were reading, and you can pick up there. So here's Jeremiah 1. And you'll notice I get some key information. 1, I have marked 0 of the verses read, 0%. But what I can do is I can come over here, and as I read through, I can mark how many verses I've read in this chapter. And as I do, you'll see that that percentage count for verses read goes up. So what's really nice about this is that you can keep track, and not only does it keep track of what you've read, you can also keep track of how many times. We have these highlights over here in the top right-hand corner. You can see which words you don't know yet, the words that you're learning, and the words that you've already learned. So you can use this to see which verses you know the most in, which ones you don't know as well. You can also, if you find the colors distracting, you can turn the highlights off and just read. A couple other features that we have in the reading module are, it tells me that in this chapter, I know 93% of the words in this chapter. So this should be fairly easy reading, especially considering most of the words that I don't know are names. The other options that we have here are you can listen to the audio here. You can either slow it down to 0.75 or to 0.5 speed as well. And you just click on this arrow to show you the audio options. Last on the page here, the option to make vocab decks based off of this chapter. So what is really nice is that I can come in here and I can say I only want 10 words per deck, or maybe I want 15 words per deck. And so I can come in here and make these vocab cards. I can select an old group to put them in, or I can put them in a new group. The group name for these will be Jeremiah. And this is Jeremiah chapter 1. So it's going to make chapter 1 vocab cards. Or if you wanted to do, say, 1 through 4, you would just say 1 through 4. And then you can select chapter 1 and make it go all the way to chapter 4. It's going to make decks of 15 words that you don't know. And so you can do all words 1 cent. So you can choose words that you know and ones you don't. Or you can choose unknown words, so just words that you don't know. But it's going to make all the words from chapters 1 through chapter 4 of Jeremiah that I don't know. It's going to put them in decks of 15 cards. And then I could just create decks from here. Or say you only want words that occur in the Hebrew Bible 10 times or more. You don't feel like you need to learn more than that. You can just say the minimum that they appear is a minimum of 10 times, right? Or 11 times. And then you could say no max, or you can just leave it at no max, or you can say I only want the words that appear between 10 and 50 times. You don't want the ones that are more than that. And so then you can learn the words based off of their frequency. But you don't have to use the frequency option here. And so when you do this, when you create this deck, so I'm just going to limit it back down to chapter 1, 15, and we'll just say chapter 1. All right. And then we can just create word decks here. So what this has done now is that if I go back out into my bank, I can go to my custom decks, and I can pull up Jeremiah, and I can see the deck that it made from chapter 1 of these words that I don't know. And so now I can study these to prepare for reading chapter 1 of Jeremiah. But you'll see now that I have done that, it's going to show, now I know 98% of the words here. And so that 2% are probably just the words that I've not actually studied yet. But now it's saying that I know most of these words, and I could read this chapter fluently without any issues. Another thing to notice here about this interface is that you can sort words from the highest frequency to the lowest frequency, or you can do it the other way. And you can do it also by that percentage of times read that I showed you before. So I know 100% of the vocab in Psalm 134, and I know 99% of the vocab in, Jeremiah 1 now, right? 2 Chronicles 30, Deuteronomy 30, Numbers 9, Leviticus 17. And then I know 98% in Numbers 29. And it'll just go down according to the percentage of your words known. And so you can work through the whole Bible that way. And so you can read the chapters that you know the most of. You can also come over here and click on the book. And so this is going to give you the books that you know the most vocabulary of. I know 96% of all of Malachi. I know 95% of Obadiah. I know 93 of Leviticus and Deuteronomy. And so this averages all of the chapters from those books. Another thing that you can do that's really helpful is that from this page, you can click here on this little Bible icon, and you can click on a specific book of the Bible. So let's go to Genesis here. And now you can look just at the chapters of Genesis, which chapters in Genesis you know the most vocab of. And so you can go Genesis 3, I know 97%. I know 96% of Genesis 47. I know 95% of Genesis 2. Those are the main features of the Bible reading module that I wanted to show you all. All right, but that's what I have to show you today. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks.